Ready? Here we go. Hello, my friends. Thanks for coming back and joining us for another mini kids church. This week we are celebrating Palm Sunday, and we're so excited when we hear hi's from our friends. Last week we heard from friends in Georgetown and Guelph and the friends we miss in Fergus. So please keep saying hello to us, and if you make our crafts, we would love if you'd take a picture and share it with us. For Palm Sunday, it is a celebration Sunday, and so we're going to start with an hallelujah song. It's really easy to learn, but the actions are more difficult. So we have some friends with us this week who are going to help us with our actions. There are two parts to this song. You can sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And if you're singing that part, you want to stand up with Miss Owl. And when you're not singing, you sit back down. If you're singing the other part, you're singing praise ye the Lord, and you're going to stand up with Mr. Cow. Yay, Mr. Cow. And when you're done, you're going to sit down. We're going to start slow, and let's see how we do. Hallelujah, 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 praise ye the Lord. Hallelujah, 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 praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord. How did you do with that? Can we speed it up? Let's try again. Hallelujah, 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 praise ye the Lord. Hallelujah, 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 praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord. One last time, we can go super fast. Friends, you're doing great. Here we go. Hallelujah, 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 praise ye the Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord, hallelujah, praise ye the Lord. Back this week to help me play out our story. Our story this week is called A Road Made of Cloaks, and it's based on a story in Matthew 21, but it's the story of Jesus and his friends coming into Jerusalem. And we've decided this week we are going to play it out with Lego, right, Eli? Mm-hmm. So that's going to be some fun, and I'll invite you to come and play with us. And if you have Lego at home, this is a great and fun activity to do, to remember the story and play with the story and pretend what different characters in the story might feeling. So come and play with us. A road made of cloaks. The story goes like this. Jesus and his friends were finally near Jerusalem. Jesus had been telling them all along that they'd wind up here, the big city, the home of the temple. But it hadn't really seemed real until now. Everything seemed like a big deal. Things that were pretty ordinary seemed heavier somehow, like something else was lending them more weight. The donkey that Jesus' friends had gone to get, it seemed like such an ordinary thing. Except some said it was the fulfillment of a prophecy, so it felt important, like it was the most special donkey in the whole world. The donkey, though, didn't have a saddle, so they had to make one out of their cloaks. And they knew some people said Jesus was a king, but they thought he looked a little bit more like a child playing dress-up today. With a donkey instead of a war horse, a bunch of cloaks instead of a fancy saddle. They worried that the crowd might laugh when they got into the city. But off they went anyhow, into the gates. Now the people, they quickly joined the spirit of the day in the city. They were taking off their own cloaks and jackets, and they were spreading them out on the road that Jesus was traveling. The poor people, the ones who didn't even have cloaks to lend, they cut branches from the trees and they spread them on the road. How strange it was to see a muddy donkey trampling such beauty beneath its feet. They called Jesus fancy names too. Son of David, the one who comes in the name of God, the prophet Jesus from Nazareth. They felt so proud that others could finally see what they had known all along. This person, this Jesus, was someone who came from God, someone worth following no matter where he led them. Later on, they would gather together around a table. And there they would think about and reflect on when it was that everything had changed. Was it when they threw people out of the temple for abusing the poor? Was it when he told the scribes and Pharisees that they had forgotten God's justice? Maybe if that woman hadn't anointed his feet, he would never have been arrested and tried and killed. It was impossible to tell when things had changed, but they knew one thing. The moment Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the donkey that day, they had never seen him look so brave. I wonder what part of the story you think is the most important for us to remember. I wonder, too, what character in the story you might feel like. Is it Jesus who knows what he's doing and feels brave? Is it Jesus' friends who are so proud of the person that they are following and they're sure of what he's doing in his message? Is it maybe the people in the crowd who have heard so many things and they don't really know what's going on, but they just want to be part of it? And so they've brought their branches and their cloaks and they're so hopeful. There are so many different characters in this story. Maybe even the donkey who has no idea that he's part of the story or what it means, but he's doing what he was made to do, and that's to carry people. I wonder. So what is a palm parade without some palms to wave around? Magdalen's idea for a craft this week was to make some paper palm branches that you can wave around and hang in your window and have some fun with. So that's what we're going to do today. It's really simple, and I hope you can find what you need in your house. We need some paper. We've got a bunch of colored paper. It doesn't even have to all be green. It can be different colors. For our sticks, I have found some really big popsicle sticks. You could also use big straws, or you could even go outside and collect sticks from the garden. That would work too. You need some pencils so you can trace your hand, and we're going with tape this week since we had such an unsuccessful time with the glue last week. So we're just going to tape things together this week. But if you have glue or a glue stick, that would work well too. So you can see Magdalen has already cut out a hand. The first part of the process is to grab a pencil and to trace your hand onto a piece of paper. And you could trace each other's hands if you would find that easier, or you can trace your own. We're tracing our own today? Yeah. We're tracing our own today. So we're going to put our hand on the piece of paper and we're going to trace around like this. And we might just speed up some of this process in the video. So once you have your hand traced, you can just close up the bottom where your wrist and your arm was, and then you've got your full hand there. And our next part of the process is to cut that out. Now, if you have thin paper, you can speed this process up by doing a few sheets of paper together, or if your scissors aren't very good, you can cut one out at a time. So we'll go ahead and cut one out. Okay, so we have cut out a bunch of hands. Magdalen has 4 hands here. I've got 6. I've decided to go with rainbow colors for my next palm branch. Eli is still working away at cutting his hands. And here's what we do. We just lay them down Here, what I'm gonna do red,
orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
That's right, I'm gonna do like the rainbow. So red and purple and orange and blue and yellow and green, and then we're gonna grab tape like Magdalen is doing. Tape it either at the back or you can tape each piece together. Whoa, oh, okay, I need a few of these, hang on. There you go, Magdalen. So I like to roll mine up and put it underneath so that they stick together like that. Magdalen likes to tape them at the back because you're not really gonna see the back. Or you could do a combination of both of those. And then Magdalen is using a stick. I think I'm gonna try and use a straw for this one. Let me just get the last one stuck together. And then I've got this nice big straw and I've cut a slit in it. And I'm gonna put, how's that going, Eli? Oh, it's long. It's long, isn't it, to cut it out? That's okay. I can finish that up for you. And we're gonna put that slit in there, turn my palm branch over. And tape it on at the back. There. All right. And here is my rainbow palm. Will you wave our green palm?
Sure.
And there's Magdalen's. Yay! As always, we'd love to see the pictures of your palm branches and hang them up in your windows. Share them with the neighborhood around you. It'll be so much fun and bring so much color and a reminder of the hope and the bravery and the courage and the determination. And we'll bring these with us into our week ahead. We'll see you next week. Bye.
I'm gonna put duck.
Duck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just really want one.
So our story this week is from, I don't know.
The coconut nut is a giant nut. If you eat too much, you get very fat. Now, the coconut nut is a big, big nut, but this delicious nut is not a nut.